Hey, welcome back everyone. How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. This video is going to be about Samsung Q8FN. It's not a review. I'm not doing an official review yet. That's going to be coming up on November, sometime in November. What this is basically me giving you guys my impressions so far on QLED Samsung Q8FN 55-inch model TV and how I feel about it so far. I had TV now for 2 weeks, close to like 14 days, 15 days, give or take. And I want to give you my impressions so far on the TV. I have done dozens of videos, bunch of videos on this TV. I still have some more tests to do, but I want to give you my brief, opinions and impressions. Remember, the whole point of this video is not for me to tell you or to sell you something. I'm not here to sell. I'm not a salesperson. I don't work for Samsung. Okay, I don't have strings attached to me. Nobody owns me. I'm self-employed. I do everything myself. When I say self-employed, I mean whatever money I make here, it's something that I make from the revenue. Okay, so I'm not sponsored by anybody. Okay. So, having said that, you knowing that I'm not sponsored, that I'm not being owned by anybody, I don't have to sign any kind of disclosed agreement or anything like that. Now that you understand this in the beginning of the video, please keep in mind, these are my opinions. I bought this TV. I have it with my own hard-earned cash. Samsung didn't give it to me. They just gave me a discount that lasted for about, 48 hours. The discount was only 48 hours, and they said, you got 48 hours, take the advantage of this discount. It'll expire, and that's that. And I couldn't pass on that opportunity, so that's why I got it. But I'm not sponsored by Samsung or anybody. If I was sponsored by Samsung, I would have to include them in this video. I would have to put some video in the beginning, advertising Samsung and stuff like that. Okay? This video would be done in a different fashion. It wouldn't be done like this. This is just me. There's no producer here. There's no one telling me read the teleprompter here, teleprompter there. Everything I do here, it's on my own. And this is coming from a guy who's independent, who has the TV. And you guys want to hear what this independent person has to say about the TV. Okay? I have to mention this in the beginning of the video so that way it's clear, because I will not repeat this down on the comment section. I've already mentioned in the beginning of this video, and it should be clear. This should be clear to you. So let me talk briefly about Samsung Q8FN. What is the Samsung Q8FN QLED TV? Well, the QLED series is the 2018 flagship of Samsung's new QLED lineup. Okay. They have many different QLEDs. They have the entry-level ones, which are like Q6, Q7. The problem with the Q6 and Q7, they're edgeless. Okay, I just want to mention that they do have quantum dot technology, which enhances a much better color accuracy that's being measured by DCI-P3. Okay, if you guys don't know what the DCI-P3 is, in basic terms, it's the measurement of color, spectrum of colors, and how accurate that color is. Quantum dots, this technology helps achieve that full wider color gamut. Okay, that's what it is in the basic terms. All right. The one major difference on the Q6 and Q7 is the fact that there's still edge-lit panels. What is the edge-lit? Edge-lit means that the light, it's emitting from bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top. And you're mainly going to notice that light down at the bottom and then a little bit on the top. So you're going to see that light reflecting, especially on the night. When you turn the lights off, when you're watching it at night, you're going to notice that light bleed at the, those letterbox widescreen bars that you see, those letterbox widescreen bars, the black bars, you will see that reflection, that bleeding light, you will see it, and it's very annoying, okay? So I need you guys to understand that's what the edge-lit is. And that's what you're getting with the Q6 and Q7. All right, so that way there's no confusion. One unique thing about all of these QLED televisions is the fact that they all have 120 hertz VRR. People ask me, what is the VRR? What does the VRR stands for? Well, VRR is the variable refresh rate. Variable for the V, R for the refresh, and another R for the rate. Variable refresh rate. That's what the VRR stands for. Okay, meaning that it has the ability to switch between 120 hertz on QHD 1440p and then 120 hertz on 1080p. It cannot do 120 hertz on the 4K. It can only do 120 hertz refresh rate on the 1440p and 1080p. Okay, so all of the QLEDs of 2018 have variable refresh rate. Also, NU8000 Samsung television also has 120 hertz refresh rate as well. Okay, I have to mention that too. But that's the Q6 and Q7. Remember, Q6, Q7 has edge lit. Now, Q8FN and Q9FN, these are their top of the line televisions this year. Okay, this is their like flagship top of the line QLED television. If you truly want to experience what QLED can do, meaning quantum dot technology can do with 98.7, roughly 100%. Some measure it 98.7, some measure it 98.9, some 99.1, depending on how you are testing it and what are you using to test it. Everybody using different types of equipment, different types of methods to measure the DCI-P3. It's roughly 100%. Okay, if you're gonna bitch and moan about that one tiny quarter of 1%, come on, man, it's 100% color accuracy. Okay, that TV produces the best color accuracy currently on the market. There's nothing better. If there was something better that produces something better than 100% color accuracy, please do let me know. There's nothing better right now on the market that's producing that accurate color accuracy. Samsung is that brand, whether you like it or not. I just hit my microphone. Pop filter, I mean. Anyway, so this is Q8FN and Q9FN. These two are their flagship top-of-the-line models, all right? And I happen to have Q8FN, which is a slight downgrade. Not too much, but a slight downgrade from Q9FN. Q9FN has over 300 plus local dimming zones. And in some cases, some people measure it, and goes up to 400 local dimming zones. Still, that's pretty darn good, for a backlit LED LCD television. But the problem with the Samsung, here's what I want to say before we jump into this whole local dimming thing. One of the biggest issues with the Samsung right now is it's hard to measure these local dimming zones properly. They vary because they're very aggressive. It has very aggressive local dimming zones, and you cannot turn it off. It's implemented inside the television, meaning you cannot turn off the local dimming. All you can do on the Samsung is you can go between low, medium, and high. Low, medium, and high. You cannot turn off the local dimming. Okay, so I just want to point that out. You cannot turn it off, and this creates complications for some professional calibrators out there to get the accurate local dimming. But roughly, it's about 300 plus local dimming. Okay, it has a very aggressive local dimming, so you're going to get really good deep dark levels that the LCD LED can produce. On top of that, you're also getting a 2000 nits peak of brightness. Some people say it's 1800, but when it's measured, it's roughly around 2000 nits peak of brightness, which is pretty outstanding for a television, that you can use in a very bright room. Even with this office that I'm in, if I turn all these lights on, I can still watch that TV. Not a problem, not an issue. Okay, so It has a little bit better local dimming. It has a little bit better uh, peak brightness, but pretty much everything else inside that TV, it's very similar to Q8FN. Cosmetics are also the same. The build of the TV is pretty much the same, except the One Connect box that you have available on the Q9FN. It's a very big One Connect box where you connect your HDMIs and everything else. So that right there is the one difference. But in terms of picture quality, in terms of the Q chip that's inside QLED, they're pretty much identical. Both of these Q8F and Q9F, they're really not that far from each other. It's not like night and day difference. Okay, I want to say something to the people. The reason I went ahead with the Q8FN is because I felt that the Q9FN, it's not like a night and day difference. I have tested both of them. I do have friends that work at Magnolia, Best Buy. And obviously, I cannot show you the video footage. I cannot film there because I'm not allowed to film there. It's a conflict of interest, especially with someone like me who's independent and I'm doing the YouTube. I cannot film there. I cannot give my opinions unless I'm released and sign some kind of an agreement with them, and then I have to go by the protocol, all right? But that's not how I work. I don't do that, okay? That's the people who are sponsored, all right? People who make partnership with some of these companies, and that's what they do, okay? I don't do that. But what I can tell you, me being there, testing both TVs with my friend Alex, who is the manager there at the Magnolia, I spend like 2-3 hours, 4 hours just being there, man. Everybody knows me there. They know who I am. So we tested both of them. Both of them, we tested it. We used 65-inch. No, actually, what did we do? Yeah, we used 65-inch Q8FN with 65-inch Q9FN. We put them side by side. We were using a Infinity War Avengers, and honestly, I could not tell a difference. We turned all the lights on. We turned off all the lights. We did a bunch of different picture settings. We were just checking, and he even brought his Calman equipment to measure some stuff, to measure the color accuracy, to measure the peak brightness. Sure, you know, on the instrument it says it's a little bit brighter. It's a bit brighter than the Q8FN, sure, but pretty much they're very identical. I mean, in terms of when you look at them side by side, they're very, very identical. You're really going to have a difficult time to tell the difference apart from these two TVs. They're very identical. Okay, another thing I want to talk about the Q8FN is the fact that what I personally like about this TV, here, let me start giving you my opinions. What I personally like about this TV is the fact that it's a very balanced TV. A lot of people ask me, what do you mean by when you say it's a very well balanced TV? What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is the fact that you have a lot of cool features built inside this TV that you are really not going to find on some other TVs for the price. What are the features that I'm talking about? Well, the features that I'm talking about, number one, is the fact that this TV is very responsive. When you turn it on, it turns on really quick, really fast. When you turn it off, it turns off really quick, really fast. The remote control is very responsive. Okay, the user interface they're using, it's also very responsive. You can connect the keyboard and the mouse. You can use the internet browser to browse on it. You can tether your phone to it. Especially if you have a Galaxy Note 9, you can use it as a remote control. There's so many different things and features built inside this TV that's pretty darn cool. And another cool feature that I like about this TV is the fact that there's also a voice feature. You can use the voice and you can, you know, call on certain things, certain apps. Also, the user interface, it's really unique and simple. It tells you exactly what it is. It tells you whether or not you have Xbox, you got PlayStation, whether or not you have the Comcast, DirecTV. It detects exactly what you have inside that's connected. Okay, so that's pretty cool to me that it's very responsive. But number two is the game mode. Guys, if you're looking for a television that's for the gaming, if you're a gamer and you're looking to game on the television, look no further than Q8FN or Q9FN. These two televisions are really designed for the game. Not only do you have the ability to choose between 50 hertz, 60 hertz, but you also have the ability to switch to 120 hertz and QHD 1440p 120 hertz with 1080p 120 hertz refresh rate, on top of the FreeSync that you can use with that. All right, so if you have an AMD card that supports the FreeSync, you can connect your PC to it and run that in FreeSync along with 120 hertz 1440p. You can basically play Battlefield 5 this Thanksgiving with this television. You can connect your PC, your AMD PC that you have connected, and use the FreeSync with 120 hertz QHD. And majority of you are going to be playing it on a QHD 1440p 120 hertz. That's just the 120 hertz refresh rate, VRR. Let's not forget about the game mode. Game mode, it's very unique. It has a very low input lag. So when you turn the game mode on, you can choose between turning it on, leaving it on at all time, or you can switch between automatic. So automatically detects if you have a game running, so it will switch on automatically and turn the game mode on. The game mode is very sufficient. What I mean by that, there's so many features inside that game mode. Number one, it gives you a very low input lag, which is pretty darn good. And on top of that, you also have the ability to use the motion flow, which some of the TVs don't allow you to do this. You can use the motion flow and you can select and regulate how much of that motion blur and how much of that judder reduction would you like to have inside the game mode motion flow, on top of the FreeSync. So just for the gaming alone, this TV is just highly recommended. So let's talk about another feature that's also part of the balance that I talk about. Another feature that I like about this television is the fact that you have all three ingredients. You know, you heard me say this all the time. People say, what do you mean by three ingredients? I like to dissect things on basic terms, so when someone's watching this, they understand what I'm talking about. I hate to use a technical jargon language because people don't understand that. That's like you talking to them in an alien language. Regular Joes, regular Marys, regular whoever, they don't understand what you're talking about. That's like doctor. When you're sitting in a doctor's office and he start talking to you in all this doctor technical language, I usually tell my doctor, hey, stop. Can you please speak to me in basic terms? Like I'm a dummy or something. Explain it to me in the basic terms. What do you mean? All these technical languages they're using, I hate to do that. I understand these technical joggers. I understand what they are, but I don't want to do that on my channel. So when I say three ingredients, this is what I mean. This television has 100% color accuracy, DCI-P3, okay? Don't bother sending me all these different charts for art things and this and that. It's 100%, okay? If you're gonna bitch and moan about that 1%, dude, please stop. It's roughly 100%. No other television out there produces the higher color accuracy of DCI-P3 than Samsung. Okay, they all have measured it and they all agree that the Samsung produces the best accurate colors that you're going to get on the television. All right, so DCI-P3 is 100%. This television has 100% color accuracy, and that's what you're going to get with the QLED. OLED cannot achieve this. All the other televisions out there, they are like in the 90s, but they're nowhere near 98.7 or 99.1% of DCI-P3. Okay, color accuracy. So number one, you're getting a very good color gamut. That's number one. The important ingredients of HDR, it's that full white color gamut, and you getting that full white color gamut. Number two, you're getting very aggressive local dimming zones. And these local dimming zones really help produce deep dark levels in the dark areas when you're watching this television at night. And then number 3, you're getting 1600 nits of peak of brightness. I know it's a 1500 on the paper, but they measure it. You can go up to 1600. So you're getting all 3 ingredients as necessary for this television to give you the best possible 4K HDR quality. Okay? So those are the 3 ingredients. And this is where I believe this television is the most balanced television. I wouldn't say this is the best television ever made. I don't think such thing exists. I'm sure OLED fanboys will tell you otherwise. But we're not here to talk about the fanboys. Fanboys are fanboys. They cannot be helped. They are what they are. You just got to ignore them. Let them live in their own little world. Fantasy, whatever. What I'm basically here to tell you is my own opinions. And my opinions means that this television is very well balanced. Now, what does this all mean to you? Here's something really important I want to say to end this video. What does all of this mean to you? That's the question you got to ask yourself. I know what's good for me. You shouldn't be buying a television based on what I like. Okay, you shouldn't be buying a television based on someone else tells you. You should be buying a television based on what you like. I'm just here to tell you the facts of what this television has and also to give you my honest opinions about the TV. At the end of the day, remember guys, I cannot tell you what you should buy. At the end of the day, it's going to be you, only you, who will have to make that decision. You have YouTube, you have internet, you can do your research, you can walk into a store, you can check the TV for yourself, you can look at it, and then you can determine based on that and based on what you have seen, based on what the research you have done, you can decide based on that, should I or should I not purchase this, okay? I'm not here to tell you what you should buy. I'm just here to tell you what the TV has inside, technology that's built inside, and then my opinions and my impressions. But I'm not here to sell you a television. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by Samsung or anybody else. I already made that clear in the beginning of this video. And this video has to be 22 some minutes because I cannot do it in 10 minutes to squeeze all of this stuff because I have to explain this and you guys need to follow through. So in closing, my thoughts of this television, my opinions on this television so far are it's a very well balanced television. And I'll leave it at that. There will be an official review before Thanksgiving, which I will do. And I will show you all of this stuff in 43 minutes. I will dissect everything just like I did for C7 and previous televisions that I've done. I will dissect everything. I will tell you exactly how I feel about this TV. But remember, at the end of the day, you're the one that has to make a decision. It's your preference. I'm not here to sell you a television. If you come to this channel thinking I'm some kind of a salesman, I'm not. I'm just here to tell you my opinions. My opinions are that this television, it's really well balanced television on the market right now. It is pricey, but you get what you pay for. It has a lot of cool features. It's really well balanced. But at the end of the day, what does this mean to you? So that's something only you can answer for yourself. All right? Hopefully this video gives you some insight on how I feel about Samsung Q8FN and why I call it the most well-balanced television out there that I have experienced on the market as of 2018 October this year. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one, though. Take care.